What is up, wrestling family? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most explosive, physical, and downright unpredictable premium live events of 2026, WWE Clash in Italy. General Manager Adam Pearce promised us a historic night, and oh boy, did the superstars deliver. From the absolute power clash between the next big thing and the modern-day powerhouse, to a family civil war that pushed the boundaries of modern psychology, and a main event scene that left the world in absolute shock. In this video, I'm going to break down every single major match, analyze the hidden storytelling elements you might have missed in the highlights, discuss the physical tolls these athletes took, and give you my honest rating on whether this event reshaped the future of WWE leading into the summer. Grab your popcorn, hit that subscribe button, and let's dissect WWE Clash in Italy 2026. Let's start with the opening blockbuster. The Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar, versus the rising force from NXT, Oba Femi. When you look at the tail of the tape for this match, it felt like looking at carbon copies of pure, destructive power across two different generations. Brock Lesnar, the man who ended The Undertaker's streak, the multi-time champion, the ultimate bully of the squared circle. On the other side, Oba Femi, the former shot-put champion, a young man who dominated NXT and earned a fast-track ticket to the main roster through sheer, unadulterated strength. Going into this match, the big question on everyone's mind was, if you're Brock Lesnar, how do you handle someone you can't easily bully? Michael Cole and Wade Barrett on commentary set the tone perfectly. This wasn't going to be a technical wrestling masterclass. It was a fight for survival capital. Right from the opening bell, Oba Femi did something very few men in history have ever done. He shook Brock Lesnar off. He backed the Beast into the corner, looked him dead in the eye, and showed zero fear. You could literally see the shock in Brock's eyes. But as we know, a wounded beast is the most dangerous entity in sports entertainment. Lesnar shifted gears. The match quickly spilled to the outside, and this is where the veteran experience came into play. Brock sent Oba Femi crashing headfirst into the steel ring post, and then used the steel steps to inflict massive damage. This wasn't just about winning a match. It was about Brock reminding the young generation who runs the food chain. Just when it looked like Oba Femi was completely done, the Nigerian powerhouse fired back with massive right hands, dropping nuclear-level strikes that briefly had Lesnar on the defensive. But experience trumped youth. Oba went for one big move too many, allowing Lesnar to counter, lift all 310 pounds of Oba Femi, and deliver a thunderous, ring-shaking F5 to secure the victory. Even though Brock Lesnar walked away as the winner, Oba Femi won the respect of the entire WWE universe tonight. To push Brock to his absolute limits in your first major PLE match is a statement of its own. Where does Oba Femi go from here? A feud with a mid-card champion to build his momentum back up seems like the perfect path. Now, actually, let's move on to what was arguably the most emotionally charged and psychological match of the night. The Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, versus the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu, for the World Heavyweight Championship. The story here is phenomenal. Jacob Fatu was brought into WWE by his family, but the hunger inside this man is terrifying. Commentary mentioned a line that gave me goosebumps. Jacob Fatu doesn't want to go back to a mattress on a floor with his wife and 7 kids. That is a visceral, raw type of hunger. He isn't fighting for fame, he's fighting for survival and legacy. Roman Reigns, on the other hand, looked like he had seen a ghost during his entrance. He knew exactly what Jacob Fatu was capable of. He tried to keep Jacob away from the main spotlight for a long time, and tonight he was forced to stand toe-to-toe with his own blood. The physicality in this match was off the charts. Jacob Fatu was all gas, no brakes. Early in the match, Fatu hit a spectacular suicide dive over the announcer's desk, completely flattening the Tribal Chief. He followed it up by slamming Roman into the ring post. The turning point of the match's psychology was the Tongan Death Grip. This move is devastating, targeting the Adam's apple and cutting off air circulation. When Jacob Fatu locked it in, you could see the absolute panic in Roman's face. The physical rules of gravity and endurance didn't seem to apply to Fatu. He was absorbing Roman's biggest right hands and just smiling through the blood. In a moment of pure desperation, Roman Reigns managed to break free and deliver a massive spear. The crowd in Tampa was ungodly loud, but Fatu kicked out at 2.5. The look on Roman's face was priceless, unfathomable shock. Fatu mounted a comeback, hitting a double jump moonsault, but his unhinged nature became his downfall. He went to the top rope again, but his momentum caused him to crash headfirst into the exposed turnbuckle. Roman capitalized instantly, hitting one final, flush, thunderous spear to retain the World Heavyweight Championship. But the story didn't end with the 3 count. After the match, an absolutely unhinged Jacob Fatu went on a rampage, wiping out ringside officials and security. He called his shot, he lost due to a tactical error, and now he is an absolute menace loose in WWE. The Bloodline Civil War is far from over, and Roman Reigns might have retained the title, but he lost a piece of his soul surviving this match. And now we arrive at the main event of the highlight package, the Visionary, Seth freaking Rollins versus the Alpha Prodigy, Bron Breakker, who had the ultimate cheat code in his corner, Paul Heyman. The commentary team highlighted a massive statistical factor here. Seth Rollins is a 40-year-old veteran who has endured years of knee injuries, back issues, and has only had one major match in the last 7 months. On the flip side, Bron Breakker is a 250-pound genetic freak in his mid-20s, possessing a level of explosive speed that shouldn't mathematically exist for a man his size. This was a classic story of veteran ring cardio and intelligence versus youthful explosiveness and raw power. Early on, Seth tried to use his agility to keep Breakker grounded, but Bron completely neutralized it. There was a terrifying spot where Seth leaped off the ropes and Breakker literally caught him out of the air like a piece of paper and slammed him down. The match escalated to the outside where Bron Breakker put his own body on the line, delivering an explosive spear that sent both men crashing through the announce table. Both athletes were completely flattened. When they got back in the ring, Seth Rollins showed why he is a multi-time world champion. He hit his signature old school but highly effective combination, a massive superplex off the top rope, flowing seamlessly into a Falcon Arrow. The crowd was electric, singing Seth's theme, lifting the energy of the entire arena. We got to the absolute climax of the match. Seth Rollins set up for the stomp. He executed it perfectly and covers Bron. 1, 2, no! Bron Breakker kicks out. Not only did he kick out, but a big, terrifying smile came across Breakker's face. Suddenly, chaos ensued. It looked like outside forces or internal exhaustion crept into the match. Seth Rollins attempted an avalanche stomp from the top rope, but Bron Breakker countered out of nowhere, hitting a devastating mid-air torpedo spear right into the gut of Seth Rollins. 1, 2, 3. Bron Breakker has arrived at the absolute top of the mountain. This is the biggest win of his young career. The strategic guidance of Paul Heyman paid off perfectly, and the era of Bron Breakker's absolute physical dominance has officially begun in WWE. Now guys, we need to talk about something incredibly bizarre that happened at the absolute end of this highlight broadcast. After all the high-intensity wrestling action, the audio feed suddenly cut into what sounded like a private, casual conversation or a gaming stream leak. We heard people talking about eating food without a fork, opening chests with a whole bunch of nothing, and a hilarious line about pillows being extra hard when you think about me. Honestly, it gave the production a total mid-loot vibe, as they said in the clip, whether this was an accidental audio bleed from a production microphone backstage, a glitch in the localized Italian broadcast feed, or a subtle Easter egg for an upcoming digital show. It definitely caught a lot of fans off guard and added a hilarious, freaky end to a chaotic wrestling night. Let me know in the comments what you think that audio glitch was all about. Overall, WWE Clash in Italy 2026 was an absolute banger of a premium live event. It checked every single box,